Okay, so I'm making this video just to help someone who's asked me how can I get a grade 6 or above in maths. Okay, so here are my top 5 tips that can help anyone to achieve a grade 6 or, for that matter, any grade that they want in maths. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. Okay, so my first tip would be homework. Okay, so as cliche as this may sound, I know you've probably heard this a lot from your teachers, but complete all the homework that's set, okay, because that is there for a reason. Teachers know exactly what you need to be learning and where, you know, you need to be revising a little bit more and focusing your attention on more. So complete all your homework first of all. Then number 2, I've written down, ask your teacher for a checklist. Okay, now every school has their own sort of like policy around this and their own sort of checklist that they kind of make. Okay, but it's essentially the same thing. Some schools might have like a list of all the topics that you need to be focusing on to get your target grade, and they might rag you on those. Okay, so give you red, amber or green, so you know exactly which topics you need to focus on in order to get your target grade. Okay, but all schools do have that, especially in year 11, so please ask your teacher for that if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, even if your school does not offer you that, you can still ask your teacher and she'll be more than happy, she or he, sorry, will be more than happy to help you for that. Okay, now just an important point here, your teachers are your tools. Okay, so please use them, don't be afraid to ask them for help. They want you to achieve your target grade or beyond. And then that takes us to point number 3, is Maths Genie. Okay, now some of you may already know about this and some of you may not. Maths Genie is a wonderful website. Okay, it gives you all the different grades and the topics associated with that particular grade. Okay, so for this person who's asked to get a grade 6, please check out your grade 6 topics, okay, and attempt to do all of those questions related to those topics and master them. Okay, they do offer solutions as well alongside with those questions, so you can always just cross-reference and see where you've gone wrong. But not just your target grade topics, you need to make sure that you know all the topics before that, so grade 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, okay, in order to get your grade 6. And then that takes us on to tip number 4, is past papers. Now I cannot stress enough the importance of past papers, but also I write down to do them in time conditions, okay, because that really helps you to see whether you can actually do all that you do know in the time limit that's given to you in the GCSE Maths exam. Okay, so past papers, again, you can find them on Maths Genie. You can get them from your teachers. Sometimes teachers set them as homeworks. I've seen that in a couple of schools where I worked. Okay, or you can just download them from your AQA website or Edexcel, past papers. First try and just do them, okay, don't worry about time. Then once you're confident in doing the full paper, then go on to doing it in timed conditions. Okay, they help you quite a lot to understand what is it exactly.
And lastly, we need to know our square numbers all the way from 1 squared up until 15 squared. Okay, and you've seen the coming examples, which I do, why we need to know them.
Realistic as your past paper exams questions, because they're more word problemy, I'll say. Okay, so they're put more into context, so please do attempt those. And then lastly, I've just squeezed on tip number 5, mark schemes. Okay, now that is linked to past papers, but to be honest, they're all linked. Okay, so mark schemes, by that I mean, please check them out. So the questions that you get wrong, check where you've gone wrong, and see exactly what the examiner has written that they wanted in that question, so that you've got a better idea that if that was to come in the exam, how can you better answer it. Okay, also there are some types of questions where they want the answer to be written in a certain way, especially where there's words involved. Okay, for example, angle questions where they want you to give the reason as well. Okay, so please check out how it's been worded as well, because that is also important. So for example, a straight line, angles on a straight line are equal to 180. Sometimes they want sum to, okay, they want certain words in there. So when you look at the mark scheme, it gives you a really good idea of where your marks are coming from, okay, each mark, and also how the examiner wants you to word it as well. So please do put some time and effort into looking through the mark scheme and seeing how where you've gone wrong and how you can improve that for next time. Okay, so that's my top 5 tips to get a grade 6 or above. If you've got any more video suggestions, please list them down in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. the square root of b, then you can rewrite that as the square root of a multiplied, okay, this is very interesting, by the square root of b. So that means that this initial